Imagine this. You walk into a room and the energy shifts. Heads turn, but you didn't say a word. You didn't need to. Men respect you without knowing why. Women notice you drawn in by something they can't quite explain. You're calm, you're composed, you're in complete control. There's no need to prove yourself, no need to try too hard. You're the man they can't ignore, the man they can't stop thinking about. Now imagine this energy following you everywhere at work, in relationships, in every single interaction. You're no longer chasing validation, begging for approval, or trying to impress anyone. People chase you. Opportunities come to you. Women wonder who you are. Men wonder what you've figured out that they haven't. Because you're not like the rest. You've become silently powerful. A man who commands respect, attention, and attraction without ever asking for it. Sound impossible? It's not. I'm about to show you exactly how to do it. This isn't another video filled with feel-good fluff. This is a blueprint for becoming the kind of man the world can't ignore. Most men today are lost. They talk too much, they try too hard. They chase women, they chase approval, and they wonder why nothing ever works. But here's what you need to know. The loudest men in the room are the weakest. The real power lies in silence. It lies in your presence, in your confidence, in your control. This video is for men who are ready to stop being invisible, for men who are tired of being ignored, overlooked, or disrespected. I'm going to show you the 12 habits of silently attractive men, habits that will change your life in ways you can't even imagine. These aren't just tips or tricks. These are timeless principles rooted in ancient wisdom. They've worked for warriors, kings, and leaders for centuries, and they'll work for you. By the time this video ends, you'll know exactly how to walk into any room and command attention without trying. Make women chase you instead of the other way around. Earn respect from men, opportunities, and life itself. But here's the catch. You have to commit to these habits. Every word in this video is designed to hit you where it matters most. Your mindset, your confidence, your very identity as a man. So, here's what I want you to do. Drop a comment right now saying, "I'm ready to level up." I want to know who's serious about becoming the best version of themselves. And don't forget to hit subscribe. When you do, you're not just supporting this channel, you're helping other men discover the truth. You're helping them become stronger, better, and more powerful. Now, let's get into it. The man you want to become is waiting on the other side of this video. Let's go. Number 1, cultivate stillness. Men, I want you to pause right now and ask yourself this. When was the last time you just sat still without your phone, without distractions, without feeling the urge to move? You probably can't remember. That's because modern life is filled with noise, distractions, and endless demands for your attention. You wake up and check your phone. You scroll for hours chasing dopamine hits. You talk too much. You move too quickly. And you feel restless when nothing is happening. Here's the truth. Stillness is power. Men who cultivate stillness are like a calm, deep ocean. Silent on the surface, but unstoppable underneath. Women are drawn to this energy because it feels stable, unshakable, and in control. Do you think women want men who panic at the first sign of trouble? Number. They want the man who sits quietly, assesses the situation, and moves only when necessary. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine 2 men in the same scenario. The first, guy walks into a crowded room. He's fidgeting, checking his phone, talking too much, and nervously looking around. His energy screams weakness. He's seeking validation, trying too hard to fit in. Now imagine the second man. He walks into the room, shoulders back, chin up. He moves deliberately, slow but confident. He doesn't speak unless he has something worth saying. He doesn't look for attention. It just naturally gravitates toward him. Which man do you think women notice? Which man do you think men respect? It's the second one. Why? because his stillness speaks louder than any words could. Stillness tells the world. I don't need to prove myself to anyone. It radiates confidence, control, and mystery. It makes people want to know what's going on in your mind because you aren't giving it all away. This is the energy of leaders, warriors, and kings. This is the energy you need to cultivate. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I become still? How do I stop the chaos in my mind and body? Here's how. Start small. For 10 minutes every morning, sit in complete silence. No phone, no distractions. Just sit. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. If your mind wanders, bring it back. It will be uncomfortable at first. That's the point. Weak men run from discomfort. Strong men face it head on. The more you practice stillness, the more you'll notice something incredible. You'll stop reacting to life. You won't jump every time someone texts you. You won't panic when things go wrong. You'll carry a calm, unshakable presence that people can feel the moment you walk into a room. And here's the best part. Stillness creates curiosity. When you sit back quietly while everyone else is talking, women will start to wonder, what's going on in his head? Why is he so calm? What does he know that I don't? Curiosity creates attraction. And attraction, my friends, starts with you being the calm in a world of chaos. Number 2, master your mindset. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. Right now, most of you are slaves to your thoughts. You worry too much about what other people think. You replay conversations in your head, wondering if you said the right thing. You overthink texts, dates, and relationships to the point where you lose all your power. Stop it. A man who masters his mindset is a man who masters his life. Here's a hard truth. Women can smell weakness a mile away. If you're constantly doubting yourself, second-guessing your actions and chasing their approval, they'll lose all respect for you. You might think you're being nice or considerate, but what you're really showing is neediness, and nothing kills attraction faster. So, how do you fix this? How do you develop a mindset that radiates quiet confidence? First, understand this. You cannot control what happens outside of you, but you can always control your response. This is the essence of Stoicism, and it's one of the most powerful truths a man can learn. If she pulls away, you don't chase. If she tests you, you don't lose your cool. If life throws you a curveball, you don't panic. Instead, you respond calmly, logically, and with total control. This makes you unshakable. And an unshakable man is a man who attracts respect. Here's a mindset exercise that will change your life. Every morning, write down this phrase: I control my thoughts, my words, and my actions. Nothing outside of me has power over me. Repeat it to yourself until you believe it, because the moment you realize that you are enough, you stop seeking validation from women, from friends, and from the world. You become the man who doesn't need anyone's approval to feel good about himself. And guess what? That's when women start chasing you. Because confidence isn't about being loud. It's not about showing off. It's about knowing deep in your core that you are worthy and not needing anyone else to confirm it. Number 3, speak less. Mean more. Here's a hard truth. Weak men talk too much. They fill every silence with nervous chatter, overshare their plans, over-explain their opinions, and constantly try to justify themselves. Why? Because deep down, they're afraid of silence. But men who understand the power of their words and the weight of their silence become unforgettable. Imagine this. You're on a date, and the conversation pauses. Most guys panic, their mouths running faster than their minds. They ramble on about their job, their hobbies, or some meaningless story to avoid the silence, hoping to impress her. But the silently attractive man, he pauses, he sits back, smiles, and lets the silence linger. He doesn't rush to fill it, because he knows that silence, when used correctly, builds tension, and tension is magnetic. Instead of over-talking, he asks her a single, meaningful question. What's something you've always wanted to do but haven't yet? Then he listens, truly listens. His restraint and curiosity say more than any words ever could. Here's another example. You're in a meeting and everyone is trying to sound smart, fighting to get a word in. You wait, you listen. When the room quiets down, you speak calmly and with precision, offering one solution or one insight that no one else thought of. You don't need to repeat yourself. You don't need to shout. You don't need to seek approval. And guess what? Everyone listens, because they know when you speak, it matters. That's the kind of man who earns respect effortlessly. The same rule applies in arguments, especially with women. Let's say she accuses you of something unfair or tries to test your frame with a loaded question like, "Why don't you care about me?" Most guys would start defending themselves immediately. "Of course, I care about you. I just stop." That's weak energy. Instead, hold your frame, stay calm, and respond with power. What makes you think that? You just flipped the script. You didn't react emotionally. You stayed in control. You've shown her that you're not afraid of confrontation, and you've made her explain herself. That's how strong men handle themselves. Here's why speaking less works. It forces people to pay attention when you finally do speak. It makes every word you say hit harder. It creates mystery because you're not constantly revealing yourself. Weak men spill their entire life story to anyone who will listen. Strong men keep their cards close and speak with intention. This doesn't mean being rude or distant. It means being deliberate. Stop explaining yourself. Stop seeking permission. If you say no to someone, you don't need to give a 5-minute justification. A calm that doesn't work for me is enough. If someone challenges your opinion, you don't need to argue. Simply say, "I see where you're coming from, but I disagree." End of story. Let them think about it. Speaking less also protects your value. When you overtalk, you give too much of yourself away, and people stop valuing your words. But when you hold back, when you speak only when necessary, your presence becomes powerful. Let me give you one last example. Picture two men in a bar. The first man is talking loudly, trying to be funny and bragging about his job or his car. The second man sits quietly, enjoying his drink, observing the room. He makes occasional eye contact with people, but says nothing unnecessary. Eventually, a woman walks over and says, "You're different." Who are you? That's the power of speaking less. You let people come to you. You make them curious. You create space for attraction to build naturally. Here's your challenge for the next week. Speak only when you have something meaningful to say. Cut your words in half during conversations. Pause before you respond to questions. When you're tempted to ramble, stop and let the silence do the talking. You'll notice something incredible. People start listening to you more, respecting you more, and being drawn to you without even knowing why. Because the man who speaks less and means more, he's the man everyone remembers. Number 4, dress like you respect yourself. Here's a brutal truth. People judge you within the first 3 seconds of seeing you. Women, men, everyone. And you know what they're looking at. Your appearance, your style, how you carry yourself. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "Looks shouldn't matter, I'm a good guy," let me stop you right there. Your appearance isn't about vanity. It's about self-respect. It's about showing the world that you take yourself seriously. A man who respects himself makes sure that his appearance reflects that. Here's the mistake most men make. They think dressing well means chasing trends, wearing flashy designer clothes, or spending thousands of dollars on a wardrobe. That's nonsense. Dressing like a man who respects himself is simple. It's about wearing clothes that fit well, are clean, and show you care. It's about understanding that the small details, like well-kept shoes, clean nails, and a properly ironed shirt, tell people everything they need to know about you. Let me give you an example. Imagine two guys walking into a room. The first guy is wearing a wrinkled hoodie, baggy jeans, and sneakers that look like they've been through a war. His hair is a mess, and he smells like he hasn't seen a shower in days. The second guy is wearing a simple white t-shirt that fits perfectly. Dark jeans, polished boots, and a clean watch. His hair is neatly styled, and his presence feels sharp, focused, and intentional. Which guy do you think women notice? Which guy do you think other men respect? It's not even close. Here's why. This matters. When you look put together, people assume you're put together in every other area of your life. They assume you're disciplined, confident, and successful. But more importantly, when you dress well, you feel different. You carry yourself differently. You walk into a room knowing you look good, and that confidence radiates from you like a signal. You don't have to be the best-looking guy in the room, but you should always aim to be the man who looks like he respects himself the most. So here's what you can do. Number 1, simplify your wardrobe. You don't need 50 shirts. You need 5 that fit you perfectly. Stick to neutral colours like black, white, navy, and grey. They're timeless and make you look sharp without effort. Number 2, invest in one good pair of boots, a clean watch, and a quality belt. These small details elevate your look instantly. Number 3, take care of yourself. Get a haircut regularly. Keep your beard trimmed. Use a good cologne, but don't drown yourself in it. Dressing well doesn't just change how others see you. It changes how you see yourself. It's the easiest way to start radiating silent power. Number 5, develop a strong posture. You can say 1,000 words with your body without ever opening your mouth. Your posture, how you stand, sit, and move, speaks volumes about your confidence, strength, and self-respect. And here's the hard truth. Most men today look weak just because of how they carry themselves. They slouch, they fidget, they walk like they're afraid to take up space. What does that communicate? Insecurity, doubt, weakness. Women see it immediately, and the moment they do, attraction dies. Now picture this instead. A man walks into the room. His shoulders are back, his chest is open, his chin is up. He moves slowly, deliberately, like he owns the space he's in. That man doesn't need to say anything because his posture says it all. I am here. I am confident. I am in control. Let me tell you something fascinating. Studies show that your body language doesn't just affect how others see you. It affects how you see yourself. When you slouch, you feel small. You feel weak. But when you stand tall, your brain releases testosterone, the confidence hormone, and your entire energy shifts. So, here's how you fix your posture and start radiating silent strength. 1. Straighten your back. Imagine a string pulling the top of your head toward the ceiling. Your shoulders should naturally fall back. 2. Own your space when you walk. Don't rush. Move slowly, deliberately. Let people feel your presence. 3. Fix your posture habits. When you're sitting, don't hunch over your phone or laptop. Sit tall, shoulders back, like a man who's in control. Here's a challenge. The next time you're in public, walking down the street, sitting in a cafe or waiting in line, pay attention to your posture. Stand tall. Move with intention. Watch how people start to notice you without even knowing why. Good posture isn't about looking strong. It's about being strong and showing the world that you know who you are. Number 6, master eye contact. Eye contact is one of the most powerful tools you have as a man. It can build respect, create attraction, and establish dominance, all without saying a single word. But most men are afraid of it. They avoid eye contact because they don't want to feel uncomfortable. They stare at the ground, their phone, or anywhere else that doesn't require facing the world head on. You know what that tells people? I'm weak. I'm insecure. I'm not worth your attention. Now let's talk about the man who understands the power of eye contact. When he speaks, he looks people in the eye. When he listens, he holds their gaze. And when he makes eye contact with a woman, he doesn't flinch. He doesn't look away nervously. He looks at her calmly, confidently, as if to say, "I see you. I'm here and I'm not afraid." Women can't resist this kind of confidence. Why? Because most men crumble under pressure. They break eye contact. They show weakness. But you're different. You hold your ground. And that makes you stand out like a beacon. Here's how to master eye contact. 1. Start small. When you're walking down the street, make eye contact with strangers. Hold their gaze for 2 to 3 seconds and give them a slight nod. 2. Practice in conversations. Whether you're talking to friends, co-workers or women, train yourself to hold eye contact. Don't stare. Just look at them naturally and confidently. 3. Add the power of pauses. When you're speaking, hold eye contact and pause for a moment before continuing. It makes your words hit harder. Eye contact is a silent message. It says, "I'm not afraid of you. I know who I am and I don't need to hide." Master it, and you'll become the man who commands respect, captivates women, and stands apart from every other guy in the room. Number 7. Become the calm in chaos. Here's a fact. Life will test you. Women will test you. Your job, your friends, your circumstances, they will throw chaos at you to see how you react. And most men fail these tests. They crumble under pressure, they lash out, yell, get emotional, and show the world just how weak they are. Let me tell you something brutally honest. The moment you lose control, you lose respect. Period. Imagine this scenario. You're arguing with your girl. She's raising her voice, throwing out accusations, and trying to get a reaction out of you. What do most men do? They yell back. They defend themselves desperately. They get emotional, loud, and weak. And do you know what happens? They lose her respect instantly. But the man who stays calm, the man who lets her words wash over him without flinching, the man who responds, not reacts, that man is dangerous. That man is respected. Why? Because he cannot be controlled. Here's what you need to understand. Chaos is a test. It's a way for the world to see what you're made of. Weak men react impulsively. Strong men stay grounded. Let me give you an example of what this looks like in action. You're in a heated argument and she says something designed to hurt you. Something like, "Maybe you're just not good enough for me." Most guys would lose it. They'd start begging for her to explain, trying to prove themselves, or throwing insults back. But you pause, you breathe, you look her in the eye and you say calmly, "If that's how you feel, that's your choice. But I know my value." You've just done 2 things. You've shown her that you're not afraid of losing her. You've proven that you control yourself no matter what she throws at you. And trust me, men, this drives women crazy. Why? Because calmness in chaos is rare. It's magnetic. It shows strength, maturity, and leadership. Think about a Navy SEAL on a battlefield. Bullets are flying, bombs are exploding, but he's calm, focused, and in control. That's the energy you want to embody in every area of your life. Here's how you practice being calm in chaos. 1. Train your emotions. When you feel anger or frustration bubbling up, don't let it control you. Pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Ask yourself, is this worth losing my composure over? 2. Embrace silence in tense situations. When someone tries to provoke you, don't respond immediately. Let the silence linger. Silence makes you look calm and calculated. 3. Reframe chaos as a test. Every time you face stress, tell yourself, "This is my chance to prove my strength." Here's the takeaway. Calm men are dangerous men. Why? Because nothing can shake them. They don't chase. They don't beg. And they don't react. They stand strong while the world crumbles around them. And that kind of strength, it's irresistible. Number 8. Listen more than you speak. Here's a little secret most men don't know. The strongest men in the world are the best listeners. Why? Because listening is a power move. It puts you in control. It makes people respect you. And when it comes to women, it makes you more attractive than you could ever imagine. But here's the problem. Most guys talk too much. They go on and on about themselves, trying to impress her with their stories, their achievements, their jokes. They think if they keep talking, they'll win her over. You know what she's really thinking? This guy doesn't shut up. Talking too much makes you look desperate. It makes you look like a boy who needs attention. But the man who listens, the man who pauses and gives her space to talk, he becomes the most interesting man in the room. Why? Because listening shows confidence. It shows patience. It shows that you don't need to prove yourself. You're comfortable letting the other person take the spotlight. And here's something powerful. Women love to talk about themselves. It's how they connect. When you listen, really listen, you make her feel understood. You make her feel seen. And that creates a bond stronger than anything you could say. So, how do you become a master listener? 1. Shut up. The next time you're talking to a woman, catch yourself when you start rambling. Stop. Let her speak. 2. Ask meaningful questions. Don't just say, "How was your day?" Ask questions like, "What's something you're passionate about?" Or, "What's the most important lesson you've learned in life?" 3. Practice active listening. When she talks, nod. Look her in the eyes. Repeat her words back to her. That's interesting. So you really love painting. Why do you think it inspires you so much? Do you see what happens here? She feels like you're paying attention. She feels like you care. And that, my friends, is incredibly rare. Here's a challenge. For the next week, talk 50% less and listen 50% more. Watch how people react to you differently. Watch how women open up and connect with you on a deeper level. The man who listens doesn't need to talk much because his presence is felt. He's confident, calm, and magnetic. Talking is easy. Listening is rare. And rarity is attractive. Number 9. Focus on strength, not perfection. Here's the biggest lie men have been sold. You need to be perfect to be loved, respected, or successful. That's a lie. Perfection doesn't exist, and chasing it will destroy you. It'll make you anxious, insecure, and weak. Strong men don't care about being perfect. They care about being strong. They care about growing, improving, and becoming the best version of themselves. Not for anyone else, but for themselves. Here's what women find attractive. Men who own their flaws but keep moving forward. Let me tell you something about life. You're going to fail. You're going to mess up. You're going to get rejected. That's not a reflection of your value. It's a test of your strength. Weak men let failure define them. Strong men let failure refine them. Imagine you go out and approach a woman. She rejects you. Most guys would crumble. They'd think, "I'm not good enough. I'll never try again." But the strong man, he shrugs it off, smiles, and says to himself, "Her loss. I'll keep working on myself and becoming better." That's what women respect. That's what men admire. Perfection is fragile. Strength is unbreakable. So stop chasing perfection. Stop being afraid to fail. Start focusing on getting stronger mentally, physically, and emotionally. Here's how. 1. Own your flaws. You're not perfect, and that's okay. Instead of hiding your weaknesses, embrace them as part of your story. 2. Commit to growth. Start improving yourself every day. Go to the gym, read books, learn new skills, focus on progress, not perfection. 3. Stop caring about opinions. People will judge you no matter what you do. Let them. Strong men don't seek approval, they seek strength. Women don't want a perfect man. They want a man who is unshakable, resilient, and always striving to be better. Number 10. Control your energy. Energy is your most valuable resource as a man. Where you spend it determines everything about your life, your success, your relationships, your happiness.